Hey, what's going on, guys? Hex Competitive back in today with a brand new video. And ReZero, man, it's that time of the week, Wednesdays, which is actually kind of odd for ReZero. But there's something that we need to talk about right away. And we're going to skip some stuff, and then we're going to come back and, round off the whole entire episode. So we saw that person that we saw in the trailer at the very end. And she did pronounce that she was the sin of greed. And as we know, the white-haired character is also the sin of greed. So what I really just kind of, got from this episode was actually the fact that she did pronounce herself as the witch of greed. Therefore, that means there are witches with their own individual sins that represent them, as well as the archbishops. So at the end of the day, is it the archbishops that kind of, they salute Satella, but who these witches are, why there's, witches of sin, that's something that's very interesting. And you do see that Emilia does say, wait a minute. I've never seen another half elf. And then the next thing you know, we see a half elf or something, someone that seems to look like a half elf. So what does that tell me? It tells me that Emilia is most likely a sin as well. Try to wrap your head around that. It tells me that she is one of the 7 deadly sins, but in the witch form instead of the archbishop kind of form. And that's something that's really interesting to me. I can't wait till I get to connect the dots and tie it in a nice little bow. But that's just kind of what I got from the writing. Yeah, leave your opinion, but no spoilers down in the comments below. As always, they will be deleted. Looking further into this, though, let's hop into Subaru and Emilia's relationship and Subaru as a person. This man, watching him on screen, is absolutely phenomenal. I have loved these last 2 episodes and just seeing who he is. This is the dude that we wanted to become this, this whole time. This kid was that, remember that kid back in, episode 13 of season 1? The one that had to chase Emilia and get through Betelgeuse because of the shit he said to her? That's the stuff I'm talking about, man. That development and you feel it. It's not even just that you see it. You hear him talking. You're just like, holy shit, this is a new person. And it almost feels as if I'm watching a new cast member in a sense. But no, it's just we know him so well. We've got to see him grow so well, man. And that's really paying off and coming full circle in the show. This season is going to be it's so different. Like the pacing is so different. And before I do get any further, we do need to talk about what we saw at the very end of the episode before we, really start from the beginning here in the carriage. And dude, that opening, man, demonstrating that Subaru keeps taking hits as you see him getting slashed, and he's keep pushing forward. You see the desperation, except this desperation and resolve is kind of contained. He knows what he wants now. He truly understands himself now, and I like how the opening represents that. The thrill, the psychological aspect of stuff he's gone through and going to be going through in order to reach the people he cares about the most. I love that stuff, man. That's such good writing. It's just all coming full circle. Everything, all the emotions, all the setup, everything is literally playing off of each other. This show, this writing, this studio, this author are so in sync that's just like, it's hard to criticize it, dude. I'm having a hard time saying that was wrong. Oh, they messed up there. It's very tough. And whenever you wherever you have a reviewer coming in and talking about these shows and any tube, kind of creator, it's tough. It's hard to talk about these shows because it seems as if we're only talking them up, but they're so damn good. Credit where credit is due. And that's all I'll say about that. But hopping into Subaru and Emilia's relationship, dude, their relationship is so cool. I'm a Rim fan. Rim has done so damn much, but seeing that, kind of the theme of this episode was gearing towards Emilia needs development physically, mentally, not necessarily emotionally, probably even that too in a sense, but that's kind of what looks as if it's Roswal's plan. It looks like it's Frederica's plan, but we'll hop on that to the second. But seeing these 2 people on screen together is a whole new dynamic. And also seeing Emilia say, I have my own selfish reasons too. And that scene was good for this reason. Because I look at Subaru, and there's a connection here. She references him being selfish, and he knows it now, and he's doing it in a way more, prideless, ego, possessive way than he was before. He's doing this in a very integrity-driven way. And I love whenever, Emilia remarks back to him, just saying, but I'm selfish too. And she does that sad look, and she can't tell him exactly what it is yet. And of course, now she can't tell him at all. It goes to show that there are people that do a lot of selfish things, and especially selfish things that are so like they go into something like a royal selection, the president. They went in there for some selfish, not just because they want to make the country a better place, but look at it. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's so, you could be a good person, but have a few of your own actual intentions, and still, I mean, be doing the right thing. But it's about how hard people are on each other. And we know that Emilia is someone that like thinks very logically. And if there is something that is not is illogical and or not totally the right way to go about things, because it's very logical and very moral driven. She's both of these things. And you see how logic and morals will not always go together. Sometimes they'll collide. They won't always fit hand in hand. And that's something that we as people experience every day of our lives. And I get that. I understand that character. And it's good writing. Once again, this is how it should be. But moving on to Frederica, let's talk about her character since she's the new character on the block. So Frederica is a character to me that is going to play an important role. Obviously, we saw what she told him about the sanctuary, even though she wasn't supposed to, quote unquote. We saw that she came in and she's half beast and she's half human, of course. We even saw Subaru get scared of her teeth. I mean, she's a character that I actually do fully expect to be really cool, really strong, add some more personality to the cast. I think she's that personality in between Rim and Ram that you need. I think she's going to really make, these people, those two really kind of go together very well. It's going to be like, oh, it's Rim and Ram. Now it's going to be like, oh, it's the maids. And I think that may be what the show's about to do. And going on to Beatrice's scene, since, Frederica kind of said, hey, go talk to Beatrice. That's one of the two people that trust him, or Roswal would trust, Beatrice and Ram. And where we get to see that Beatrice states this. So you left me behind two guys, referring to the sin of sloth, Archbishop Sin of Sloth, Betelgeuse. And that makes me believe instantly as well. It makes me instantly believe that she is a part, she's a spirit of some sort. She has to be. She's even says the thing to Subaru, to where she's like, listen, I'm not going to be your tool. I'm not going to indulge in your questions and the information in what you want. I'm not going to be a tool to your convenience. Yeah, I may be helping you, but it doesn't mean just because I know everything, I want to be helped. And it makes me feel as if she was used in the past, and then, of course, something bad happened to her. She's used as a tool. And as to where, Subaru, he truly loves Beatrice. He truly loves Rim, Emilia. He loves these people. But she's damaged goods. And that's something that he's going to have to probably fix too. She was about to cry again, even though she even stated that she hasn't cried in probably years and years and years and years and years. So it makes me feel as if she may, possibly be a creation of the witch's cult or one of the sins, spirits he created. I don't know. We know Gluttony made the whale. Why couldn't they make someone like Beatrice? It's an interesting, kind of question. It begs the question. So, also, though, moving on to the next parts here, I'm interested with the sanctuary. And the reason for that is because Roswal has been such a well-written character as an anti-hero. Roswal as an anti-hero, we have never known if it actually is the word anti, or it's just the word villain, or if it's just the word hero. Like, sometimes I say anti-hero because that's kind of what he is by undertones, but at the same time, he may not be any of those things. But it's weird because it does look as if Roswal was someone who was beat up and in bandages in the season 2 trailer, so I don't know why that is. Obviously, they went to the sanctuary. No one really told him how to get there. Roswal went there on his own accord. He didn't tell him any of the secrets. Of course, he left Frederica there, and Frederica even, iterates that this is, like, she insinuates this is for Emilia. Like, Emilia has to do this, and she has to get through this. That's kind of what she insinuates in this episode. So it looks as if they're trying to develop Emilia's character as well, and that's why they go into the sanctuary. That's why they gave him probably the necklace to separate the two. But I'm only certain that Subaru meeting this witch, the Witch of Greed, was not absolutely fucking not a part of this. I'm like utterly sure that was not part of the plan. That was not how this was supposed to go. And it makes you wonder, because she does state, I have not talked to anyone in such a long time. And in the trailer, remember, she is the one standing on top of the hill with all the other bodies. So, the witches of sin. What are your angles? Do you also worship the witch? Archbishops of sin. You worship the witch of, you even say her name, Satella. But do you refer to the other witches? Do you worship the other witches? I don't know. It is the witches cult, so I would think so, but they have never actually broken that part down. This is all new information. This is all new stuff that we're finding out now. So I'm interested to see how this all does actually turn out. Now, looking down actually at my notes really quick here, I want to make sure I covered everything. But with that being said, you have to ask yourself, Satella, or I should say Emilia, actually. She is an elf. That witch was an elf. We know Satella was an elf. Emilia has to be some kind of sin in the witches. She has to be a sin among the witches. She has to be. It just doesn't make sense that they're all elves. Satella's an elf when we know it. This girl looks like a half elf, full elf, and now we know that. And we also know that Emilia just stated, recently, which was kind of a foreshadowing. I haven't seen another elf in a long time. Hence, it makes me feel as if she's a sin. Begs the question. Hopefully we get an answer here soon, which it looks as if we're about to. ReZero's not slowing down. The opening showed you that's not going to slow down. The thrill of the chase, the drive, the more things Subaru is going to have to go through in order to get to where he needs to be. Spectacularly done. It all just goes together. It all flows with the theme. The theme flows back into the writing and all these, little quirks and plot points and emotions and music and openings and EDs. It all plays back into this theme of despair, hopelessness, resolve, mystery, lore, thriller, psychological, and I applaud that. This has been a very well-written show by Taipei Nagasaki, I believe it is, actually. And, man, the opening even showed some of real life. It showed, most of the body. I think it showed Subaru's parents, I believe, in the opening even. Like, I think it showed his mom and dad, but it didn't show their faces. I don't know if that was I don't know if their bodies or anything have ever even been illustrated. At least I'll have to go back and check, so don't quote me. But I'm pretty sure that was his mother and father, because it looked like it was still in the real world. But it did show Subaru in the real world, and it showed him go to the other world. It's just, I don't know if there's messaging here or not, man. I'm stressed. I'm nervous. The undertones and their omens in this episode were so bad. I don't know who to trust. I don't know what the reasons are. It's just that I don't understand how there's a show that can just hide its questions so well, but yet still demand that you want to ask them and have them answered without 95% of the time giving you no information. That's amazing, man. What camouflage. So, but other than that, though, guys, I don't want to ramble too long. Another long video. I think you guys should enjoy, a 13-minute video or so. Last time was 18, but hey, there's a lot of stuff going on in episode 18 and a lot of emotions being hid for, 5 years with this series. I thank you guys so freaking much, man, for being here, watching my content, going on this ride with me. Whether it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 50 viewers or 50,000, I'm so happy I get to experience this show with you guys and myself even in a selfish way once again. This show, I said it 5 years ago, this was the epitome of my reviewing career. The most fun I've had, the most challenging fun I've had. I love this show. Thank you guys for sharing it with me.